Hello, students. Welcome to today's session on email writing. So, before starting that, we all know how an email looks and we have used to it. Probably we have sent enough emails on it. It's nothing new that we are going to see about it, but the way in which you present it. So, that is more important when it comes to business transaction. So, that is the reason why we have this topic called as email writing for business. So students, let's move on to the session. So we need to categorize into mails. Okay, as I told you, you would have written formal mail and informal mail. So what are formal mails and what are informal mails? So let's see what is it. So formal mails are something which is really required in around your office, or it can be to your colleagues or your superiors, or something little professional way. So when it comes to professional writing, we say it as a formal email writing. So where we need to more look into the grammar part, the punctuations, the spellings, and everything goes together for a formal email writing, where you write to the correspondent with more details, and you would not write stories here. So that's about formal email writing. So I've given a small example here where a person, okay, a student writes letter to or an email to his professor telling that he's not available today because he's not well. So he's got some appointment with the doctor, so he's not here for the class, and he's asked for the teacher to understand this and please tell whatever happened or whatever homeworks to be done for the week. So this is what email that goes by. So you can have a look at this formal email writing. So it's Dear Professor Johnson, I was unable to attend class today due to doctor's appointment. When you have a moment, could you please let me know what I missed and what homework I need to complete for Friday? So this is a student by Julia Smith. Okay, so you can see a very professional way here. So next, I would be going into the informal email writing. So here, informal means it is mostly it is to your friends and family, where there is no standard forms of writing. There is no grammar part which plays an important role here. Even if you're writing to your friend, if there is a mistake or a grammar mistake there, it is not big deal here. So that's the reason why we call it as informal. So when we write to our superiors, we need to carry that formal method. Friends and colleagues who are on going for a party, all these things, or something like that, it is not a formal mail, it's an informal email that you need to send it to them. So this is about informal email writing. Here is an example here. So I'll just read it out to you and you can guess what is this all about. So, hi Anne, I miss you so much. Can't wait to see you on Friday. We haven't hung out in so long. I miss my bestie. Maybe we want to go to the movies or dinner or just chill and watch TV and catch up. Whichever you want. So this is about Jules writing to Anne. So Jules is inviting Anne for a party, maybe a going out, and they wanted to have some fun. So it's a informal way. So that's why you can see a lot of exclamatory marks here and lot of apostrophes here and there, love you, yeah, all these things are very very informal, where you ask your friends or your loved ones to you write an informal letter. So that's about informal letter here. So the next is I'm going to deal with the email format. So this is very important, and many of us might not know what is this all about, and we don't know how it is used. So here you have a from mail, to mail, CC, BCC. Now from is the mail that is from us, so your name will be there. To is the recipient, okay, the person who receives the mail is a recipient, and the CC is a person who required to understand what is this mail copied, so they also get a copy for it. And BCC is a blind carbon copy in case if there is something else that you wanted to share to somebody else or to you as personally, you keep a BCC. So when others are receiving the mail, people in the BCC will get only their individual mails, which means the people in the to, from and CC will not know that this person is also copied in BCC. So BCC is blind carbon copy. So only the receiver can see, and others will not know that it is BCC'd also. So this is for your information because many don't know how it is working. Okay, then you need to have a proper subject code, subject line here. So the subject line should consist of your entire body part, and that should be of a consistent way. You cannot just like that write a subject topic here, isn't it? So there should be a content and overlay content you have. Say for example, you have a request, you have a permission, so everything, whatever you're going to have an approval mail or whatever it is, so let it be short and simple, so that gives a topic, kind of a topic, we call it a subject, so that the person who receives can understand what is this mail all about, or it's for approval mails. Or so in case if you have written for approval mails and it is the receiver things and you write a subject which is not relevant to the content, and then you expect a reply, it will not happen. So our subject has to be very prominent to have approvals very short, so that your work is not stopped, it just proceeds. So this is about the subject. And the salutation is dear sir or respected sir or whatever, but we don't write hi sir in a formal way. We used to say like dear Mr. or so and so. All these things are for salutation. And the main body or the content, okay, it can be an introductory, and you need to straight away go into a what is actually required, because it's not a letter writing to write pages and pages. So even in the formal letter we don't write pages, so it's just crisp and clear. So email is much more shorter, so that's why we say it is electronic mail. So we make it cut short, and we need to write in detail of what is cut short. Is not leaving the half details out. Okay, you need to include all the details and then tell. Okay, and then finally a conclusion for it. So these are the things that is expected. So similar to a mail, but similar to a letter actually, but however we will make it very short and simple. And the closing statement has to be there. If there is any attachment of files to be attached, you need to attach for reference, and then you have to also include telling that these files are being attached. Okay, so we say PFA, please find attached. And last but not the least is your signature line, where your name, your contact details must be there. Only then the person will be able to contact you. In case if it's a customer and you are going to send it to a client, and or it's vice versa, if you do not have or carry these things on your mail, it would be difficult for the person to contact you. If not your mobile number, at least your landline, if in case they have to reach you out, and your email. Yeah, so these are the things that is a major format in email writing. Yeah, students. So the next thing is about the formal English and the informal English. So in the formal letter, we will formal letters, or in the mails, we will always keep it very formal. And in the informal, we will have hi, bye, all these, a casual talk is always carried in the informal English. Yeah. So complete sentence has to be there. So subject verb agreements. I hope you understand what is this all about. So subject should agree with the verb. So that's we call as subject verb agreement, which means a sentence must be very short and crisp. Okay. And the next thing is about no contradiction. So I haven't got, or instead of that, make it full. Okay, so that's easy for the person to understand. So contradictions is I haven't got, I wouldn't, all that. Okay, so that can be avoided. And conjunctions can be added, uh, and especially with the commas, there are people who add too many commas, or there are people who don't add commas. So but if it's like adequate and it's fine. Okay, whatever, wherever you require, you need to have a pause, you can add a comma. And the transition words is the words that you actually use. Probably we use a lot of vocabulary words in email, so that will actually add a lot of language enhancement here. So the person who reads should understand this. And especially when people write it, they try to write something, but end of the day the receiver received it in a different form. Okay, the receiver might not get the same message. So we need to be very clear, and the tone has to be very, very proper. Okay, paragraphing is a must, and punctuations are it add a lot of points to it. Okay, we need to understand where exactly we are putting it. As I told you, full stop, make the sentences short and scripts, and the wherever commas or apostrophes required, you put. Unnecessarily do not carry forward. So then it's a greetings. Okay, hi, we don't say hi dear Mr. or Mrs. or to whoever some. So these are the things we say, but in the informal we don't say all these. Okay, So, and the next is the signing. Okay, we say sincerely or best regards or with regards. At the end, there we say bye, thank you, all these things. So that's the basic difference between the formal and the informal here. Yeah. So the next is about the professional guidelines. So here is a draft of an email I've showed here where you need to have a subject line, the greetings are clear here, the font, okay, especially when we deal with formal writing, the font must not be, playful or it's colorful or it's, italicized or these things can be avoided. When it's formal, we'll say formal way. And the length of the mail must be very short and not, in case if it is dragging a little more bigger, you cut down into small paragraphs here with 2 3 lines, 2 3 lines. Okay, so that will add a lot of value to it rather than a one big paragraph on it. Do not use capitalization here because capitalization is understood that you are writing on the face of the reader. So that's the outcome of it. So please understand the length and the font of it. So that's very important here. Emotions, okay, emojis are added in the informal one, but avoid, or you should say no for formal ones. Spellings and grammar. Whenever you draft a mail, don't send it immediately. Read it once and then wait for a minute and send a draft for yourself and understand that you have done it correctly and then again send it. So it might not take a long time, but in case if there is a important emails, then you need to get the help of others in case if you are not confident enough. But understand the language and the grammar mistakes are common errors in email writing. Okay, so spellings are very important. See, the receiver will be a completely a superior person or he can be of your same size, so they think that they might you don't even know these language or words or something like this. So let's avoid all that. So very important to edit carefully and to draft it, send it to yourself, proofread it, and then send it to the person who's required. Yeah. So I have given here a resignation letter. So I've given the subject line, dear, the body, okay, and the last conclusion here, and my signatures are given here. So everything is there. So I've related to a resignation letter here. This is sample one. And the sample 2 is about a referral request. So this is also, you can see here, subject here, and salutation is given, content is given. Then at the end, you can see what is, signatures. Okay, best wishes or whatever, and everything. So please have a look at these samples, and we will have a few more things to go about. So these are the takeaway from this particular video. So first is keep it professional. So always when we say about formal writing, everybody are very clear about, or you are open to write informal email or letter writing or something. But when it comes to formal, we don't know certain things. Maybe we are ignorant about it. So that's why we tell these things. 4 important key points is to keep it professional, concise, okay, to the point and not extending things. Third one is proofread, edit it and proofread. If you're still not comfortable, read twice and thrice. Still not comfortable, ask somebody or colleagues to just go through it and then send to the person, and have a record of the important ones, probably as I told you, BCC, blind carbon copy is making a copy for yourself, and you need to sure if it's a confidential email, you need to have it confidential. So that has to be maintained in the correspondence mail. Yeah. So with this, I'm closing this email writing. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you, students.